Hello everyone, good morning and good afternoon to all of you joining from different time zones. This is Subramanian. I am from the product management team at Vembu. Joining with me today is Ajit from the channel management side as a co-organizer. And thank you for taking the time to join today's webinar on protecting remote endpoints, backup best practices for a distributed workforce. So before we dive in, a couple of quick announcements. This webinar is being recorded, and the recording along with the presentation will be available on our website within the next 48 hours. And we will take questions at the end of the session. And while participants are in listen-only mode, our team will try to answer as many queries as possible in the session itself or follow up through email if needed. And without further ado, let's dive into how you can protect your remote endpoints and the key backup best practices for a distributed workforce. So the first thing is understanding the modern work landscape. As we all know it, the modern work landscape has clearly transformed with organizations adopting mainly distributed and hybrid work models. And this shift has brought in very good flexibility for employees, obviously. From an organization standpoint, it has enabled access to global talent across geographies. But at the same time, this evolution has also changed how IT environments operate. As you all can see, the traditional IT perimeters are no longer clearly defined, and as a result, protecting data has become much more complex and more challenging than ever before, with an increase in the digital footprint. And these are some of the interesting stats which I could see from a standpoint of an evolving cyber threat landscape. If you take the government sector, there was a surge in October 2025 when the US federal government shutdown happened by about 85%, where the attackers exploited the vulnerabilities. If we go specific to the SMB market, SMBs, about 46% of cyber breaches affected small and medium-sized businesses, especially businesses with fewer than 1,000 employees. This was one critical stat about SMBs, and only 14% of these SMBs are adequately prepared for such attacks. And there is also a financial cost involved for the SMBs whenever such cybersecurity incidents happen, which can range from about $1,000 to $700,000 per incident. And when it comes to ransomware, ransomware attacks have actually increased by about 13% over the last 5 years, with an average cost of $1.85 million per incident. And there is also an alarming projection that ransomware attack can happen every 2 seconds by 2031, which is quite alarming. And regarding malware, malware proliferation actually happens on a daily basis, with about 450,000 new instances of malicious programs and potentially unwanted applications are getting reported. And regarding phishing, it's a very big thing of facing 3.4 billion spam emails every day, which can be a threat to organizations as well as individuals alike. And these are some common challenges faced by remote endpoints, especially focusing on employee laptops and desktops. As you can see, we need to understand the expanded attack surface. Remote endpoints are no longer working within the corporate network perimeter. It has actually expanded, and there is an increase in the exposure to external threats. And 85% of companies are saying that their employees access company platforms from unmanaged devices, and 43% of those employees are spending about 1/5 of their login time onto company networks from unmanaged devices. And 29% of companies reported that their employees may hop between like around 6 networks over a week, which is an alarming stat by Cisco. And employees can also connect over weak Wi-Fi networks, shared connections, and also outdated routers. that is making endpoints very vulnerable to outside attacks. And sometimes patching and updates might not happen on time when it comes to remote endpoints. Even though IT administrators schedule patching and updates at regular times, still there is a possibility that the remote endpoints can go offline and may not get patched and miss out on updates. And data sprawl is quite interesting thing. We sometimes download sensitive company data to our downloads folder. And maybe from there we copy it to the desktop, and from there we sync it back to some other directory. So all these are like adding to data spread, which is in other words the data sprawl on devices, across devices. And sometimes employees can also download unapproved or personal applications, which include sync applications like Dropbox, Google Drive, and OneDrive, which is also something which needs to be taken care by the IT administrators as well as MSPs. And adding to top of this, there is also a possibility of the device itself getting lost, or maybe a theft can happen at any point, which can result in direct data exposure without proper encryption in place. And IT administrators and MSPs are finding it challenging when it comes to remote endpoints to know the status and also detect the threats on time and remediate it on time. That is a challenge, an ongoing challenge for MSPs and IT administrators. And adding to this, there is also the insider threats and unintentional actions that can also add to common challenges faced by remote endpoints, which includes accidental file deletions, unintentional data sharing, and insider actions, whether it is intentional or non-intentional. So if you see all this, combining all this with a distributed and hybrid workforce, your data is not residing in one place anymore. And that makes protecting remote endpoints and having a proper, reliable backup in place mission critical. And these are some of the common mistakes organizations can make when protecting remote endpoints. First is some organizations might think a cloud sync could be a better option for protecting their data, which is not always the case. They might use applications like OneDrive or Dropbox and might rely on them, but it will not give you the comprehensive backup capabilities which a standard backup vendor could provide. And sometimes organizations can also ask their employees to take care of the backups themselves manually, which can lead to inevitable gaps in data protection. And sometimes offline devices can add to gaps. It's kind of you are trying to protect your laptops and devices, and when they go offline, or maybe they go intermittently offline, it wouldn't be possible for the IT administrator or the MSPs to completely take care of the backups in such cases. And when we select a backup or an agent, for example, if you are selecting it by chance, a resource intensive backup agent, it will slow down the devices, and that will lead to end user frustration. And that is also a critical thing which needs to be taken care, which is encryption. And neglecting encryption standards and just taking a backup wouldn't actually help at all times. And a validation is also necessary whenever we are taking a backup, and if you don't validate it enough to check for the data integrity, security gaps can happen. And we also need a centralized monitoring, reporting, and unified management, whether it is for MSPs or IT administrators. We need a unified and centralized monitoring console From there, we can control all the backups and disaster recovery operations, without which we wouldn't be able to manage all the endpoints across an organization. So how to choose the right backup and disaster recovery solution? So choosing a lightweight, secure, and automated backup solution has become a very critical, business critical. It should be giving you minimal user impact and also maximum automation. Whenever we are selecting an automated backup solution, it should be giving you a minimal user impact with complete security. So the automated backups, that is the first thing which we need to look for in a backup software. So based on predefined backup settings or backup templates, we should be able to automate all the backups instead of relying on manual backups, maybe asking your employees to take care of backups themselves. We need to automate all the backups. And that should be minimal performance impact, especially when it comes to CPU, memory, and bandwidth resources. That should be minimal impact whenever we are using a backup software. And military-grade encryption is also important. It should be end-to-end encryption, both during transit as well as at rest. Only then you would be able to meet the compliance requirements and security standards. And we also need to take care of the offline device support. As I mentioned already, sometimes devices can go offline, and we need to take care of the backups automatically whenever these devices come back online. And a granular backup control is also necessary. Not only a complete system image backup should be possible with the software, we should also be able to take a granular level, file level backups at times whenever we need it, with intelligent selection and filtering mechanism. And on top of this, we also need a unified command and control. IT administrators and MSPs should be able to log into a console. They should be able to manage the backups and perform all the disaster recovery operations to protect all the distributed endpoints across their organization. And apart from this, we also need certain things when it comes to recovery. So when a disaster strikes, the recovery speed and precision becomes critical. A robust endpoint backup solution should be providing multiple recovery points to address different scenarios. We should be able to give the end user the option of recovering their own files very quickly without IT intervention. That is a self-service recovery option. And a file-level granular recovery is also important. Even if we take a complete system backup, a complete image backup, we should be able to go and granularly recover specific files and folders with precision. And a data integrity check is also important. So before we perform a recovery, we always need to make sure your data is intact and it's going to work 100% when a disaster strikes. So this should be a capability within the backup software itself. And a bare metal recovery should also be another thing within the software. We should be able to rebuild the systems entirely from the scratch onto another bare metal when we need it. And these are some interesting industries and work models where backups are critical. When it comes to healthcare industry, we would need to protect sensitive patient data, especially focusing on privacy and ensuring HIPAA compliance. And financial services industry, so this actually needs protecting customer financial information and avoid regulatory fines at all times. And when it comes to remote workforces, as I was mentioning earlier, we need to protect employee data, business data, as well as intellectual property data, no matter where the employees are connecting from, be it home, office, or on the go. So the key takeaway is we need to provide strong endpoint protection, and that should be combined with reliable backups. Only then you will be able to create organizational resilience against the ongoing cyber threats, and we can ensure business continuity in our distributed work world. So we will see a brief introduction about Vembu technologies and BDRShield for the audience who joined us today, like who are new to our company and product. So Vembu Technologies was founded back in 2004. We have our headquarters in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India, and we have our offices in USA, and we have been serving the backup and disaster recovery market for over 20 years and trusted by thousands globally. And our mission is, and our vision and mission is to make enterprise-grade backup and disaster recovery software accessible to SMBs, MSPs, and enterprises. That is the vision. And our mission is to deliver simple, affordable, and powerful data protection for hybrid and cloud environments. And we have our global presence in 100+ countries, and we are serving across different verticals, which includes healthcare, education, finance, IT services, manufacturing, government, and so on. And we have our partners, around 4,000+ partners worldwide, including MSPs, value-added resellers, distributors, cloud service providers, and all that. And these are some global brands with whom we work with: Siemens, NASA, Intel, Cisco, Atos, BSES, Mercedes-Benz, and all these brands. And when it comes to BDRShield deployment, you can choose between two different deployment options. One is a completely cloud-based deployment, which is the BDRShield Cloud, and you can also choose to deploy it in your on-premise environment for a better control. So the future of backup is going to be cloud managed, and we are giving you this product, like the version BDRShield Cloud, to take seamless backups as well as perform disaster recovery operations from a cloud-based management console. There is no hardware or no maintenance involved. You can run everything from the BDRShield Cloud console itself, and you can access it anywhere, anytime. And this not only protects your endpoints, but also servers, your virtual machines, your cloud workloads like AWS EC2 instances, Azure VMs, and also SaaS applications like Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace from a single pane of glass. And you can store the data anywhere to your local or your private or public cloud, or even BDRShield Cloud, along with immutable backup option for better ransomware protection. And when it comes to specific environments with air-gapped isolation or maybe self-hosted deployments with strict compliance requirements, you can also download our on-prem version of it. You can download the BDRShield on-prem version where the installers are available for Windows, Linux, and Docker. You can go directly to our website, BDRShield.com, and use this link, and you can download a 30 days full feature trial of the product. And when it comes to the backup capabilities, you can take a backup of your endpoints, which includes desktops and laptops, and 3 different operating systems: Windows, Linux, and Mac. And when it comes to physical servers, you can very well take care of your Windows Server and Linux Server backups. And SaaS applications, we support Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace. And cloud virtual machines can be taken as a backup, which includes AWS EC2 instances and Azure VMs. You can take a backup, send it to on-prem storage, and even if there is a cloud outage, you can always bring back the data. And we also support virtual machine backups on 5 different hypervisor platforms, including VMware, Hyper-V, Proxmox, KVM, and Ovid. And a NAS or file share backup can also be taken as a backup. Any NAS device, irrespective of the brand, be it Synology or QNAP or whatever brand you're having, that can be taken as a backup along with Azure file shares. And database and applications, we are supporting 3 different databases as of now: MS SQL, MySQL, and Postgres can be taken as a backup. And after taking a backup, you'll be able to store it either on-prem, it can be a local disk, it can be NAS or SAN devices. You can also archive the data to a tape device and any deduplication appliance. So apart from on-prem, we are also giving you this cloud option. It can be your public cloud or private cloud. Public cloud options like Amazon S3 or S3 compatible like Wasabi, MinIO, Backblaze B2, Azure Blob, as well as Google Cloud. All these are different options on the cloud. And we also provide you the option to store your backups on Vembu's own cloud, which is the BDRShield cloud, which will be secure, cost-effective cloud storage. And regarding endpoint backup and recovery capabilities, which they provide from BDRShield side, these are the supported platforms: Windows, Linux, and Mac. You can take a backup. And the key capabilities would be you'd be able to take a backup of your desktops, laptops, and PCs. And this is going to be an ideal solution for your remote workforce data backup. And you can take the backup as a complete system image for your Windows workstations, or it can also be a file or folder level backup for Windows, Linux, and Mac workstations. And you can automate the backups. It's not like you need to schedule it every time. It will be like automatically running based on your schedule and populating data to your local as well as cloud storage. And when it comes to recovery, you can restore the entire machine, or you can also granularly recover specific files and folders from your backup. And these are some of the backup configuration capabilities. When it comes to RPO, we are providing an RPO of 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes, you would be able to run your backups, giving you near continuous data protection with minimal downtime. And we have recovery capabilities like instant boot recovery, where you can instantly boot it up as a virtual machine within a few minutes. And flexible scheduling option is there. You can automate the backups every 15 minutes, or maybe daily, weekly, monthly, or on custom triggers. And that is also an automated backup verification, which will automatically take care of the data integrity, which was discussed earlier. It will automatically check for the integrity of data and also do a mount check and a boot check. Okay, it will take a screenshot of the booted virtual machine, and it will send reports. From there, you can make sure your data is intact and it's going to work 100% when a disaster happens. And application-aware backups. This is an interesting feature in BDRShield, where you can simply enable a guest processing settings, and from there you can get an application consistent backup. And not only that, you can granularly recover applications, Microsoft applications like Active Directory, SharePoint, SQL Server, and Exchange Server. And we also use CBT and RCT for tracking block level changes, and that is going to give you incremental backups forever without going with a full backup every time. We are using CBT to actually track the block level changes, and incremental backups will be taken forever unless you need additional full backups. And that is also the encryption capability, which is military grade. We are providing encryption with the AES-256-bit encryption, and that is the highest standard of military grade encryption used in the industry. And you can also use a custom passphrase on top of it. And these are some of the capabilities when it comes to disaster recovery. You can very well have a backup copy. Okay, you can take a copy of your backups, especially when it comes to Windows image backups. You can take a backup copy and store it to cloud. Okay, so you can have first copy in the local and the second copy to cloud using the backup copy option. And a cloud disaster recovery is also possible. You can replicate your backups to your own public cloud or maybe BDRShield cloud itself for disaster recovery. Apart from this, we are providing an offsite DR option where you can send backups to a remote data center of your choice. So you can maintain data across different geographies. Even if a disaster strikes your primary location, you don't need to worry. You can always perform a disaster recovery from your offsite DR server. And a tape backup can also be taken for archival purpose. You can store a copy for your Windows image backups on tape as an archival mechanism. And when it comes to the storage management and compliance, we are giving you flexible repository setup where you can always use scale out repositories, automatically scaling out when one of the drives get filled up. And rotate the drive option is also there along with deduplication appliance integration and flexible retention policies. So there is no restriction on retaining your backups. You can go with days, weeks, months, or years of retention when it comes to backup retention. And compression, we are compressing all your backups with LZ4 fastest lossless compression. And you can also find all the audit logs. So whenever some user performs the backup action or a recovery action, it will all be captured as audit logs for reporting purpose. And we are also compliance ready. We comply with GDPR, HIPAA, and SOC 2 and other standards across the globe. And when it comes to ransomware protection and recovery, we are giving you this immutable backup option, especially with S3 and S3 compatible storage target. If it is Amazon S3 or S3 compatible targets like Wasabi, we have this option of simply enabling an immutable backup option, and that will give you the warm capability. You can write it once, you can read it multiple times, but no one will be able to actually edit the data. And our software is also providing the 3-to-1 backup capability, where you can maintain 3 different copies across 2 different storage media and 1 offsite copy for better disaster recovery. And we also provide a pre or post backup scripts where you can run a script before taking a backup. You can scan the files and everything and then take a backup reliably. And when it comes to immutable backups, you can always bring back your data during a ransomware attack. And a 2-factor authentication is also available in the software. You can securely access with 2-factor authentication along with role-based permissions. And this is pretty much a quick intro on the need for data protection when it comes to remote endpoints. And we will see a very quick demo on backup of endpoints. Here, this is our website, BDRShield.com. If you give a visit, there is a 30 days full-featured trial of the product. And you can use the product either through an on-prem deployment or maybe the cloud version based on your business requirements. So the on-prem deployment, so this gives you a web-based console. You'll be able to access it by typing in localhost followed by the port number, which is 6060. And the cloud version can be accessed through this console, which is console.bdrshield.com, and you'll be able to take control of all your backups. So let me give you a quick demo of this. So this is the console for the cloud version. You can log into the console through this URL, console.bdrshield.com. And here we have options for taking a backup as well as performing disaster recovery operations. Here you can add your endpoints. This is for servers and endpoints. Obviously, you'll be able to add your Windows or Linux or Mac machines from here. If you click on Windows, that is an agent which can be downloaded and then installed on your Windows machine. With a quick setup, you'll be able to connect it to the backup server. And for bulk agent installation, we have this option. You can do a bulk agent deployment using ADGPO or RMM. And all we need is just a registration token for that to connect to the server. And for Linux and Mac, we have separate agents. For Debian Linux as well as Red Hat Linux, we have separate agents which can be downloaded, and you can install this on the Linux machine. And we also have a bulk agent installation option for that. And this is for Mac. We have separate agents for Mac, both Intel based as well as ARM based Macs. And when it comes to the repository configuration, you can go to inventory, backup repository, and here we have these two options, block storage as well as object storage. When it comes to block storage, this is the local storage. You can create a block storage repository just by giving a repository name here, local storage or something. And you can select the local agent as the data processor. And here we have the storage option. It can be a directly attached drive on the local agent itself, or it can be any network drive of your choice. Okay. So this is how we can create a local storage for your backups. And you can also have another copy to any of the object storage in the cloud. When we click on create object storage repository, we have all these options for an object storage target, which includes Amazon S3 or S3 compatible targets like MinIO, Backblaze V2 and all that. We also have Wasabi. Okay, so here you can use Wasabi as a target, and we have Azure Blob as well as Google Cloud as targets. Okay, when it comes to S3 and S3 compatible, as we can see here, we are giving you this immutable backup option. In which case you can simply enable this, and data can be written once. You can read it multiple times, but no one would be able to actually edit the data. Even the ransomware wouldn't be able to make any kind of changes, including encryption. So this is how you can add your storage, and addition of endpoints is done here, and it will show you the status. Okay, like here you can find the agent status, whether it got connected successfully to the server, and the agent version is shown here. And you can also filter it out based on your operating systems, Windows, Linux, and Mac. And here you can like filter it out based on the update needed. So if you want to update the agents, you can find the list here and you can update the agents. So this is how you can add your endpoints. And then configuration of backups. You can go to backup, configure backup, and we have servers and endpoints. Under that, we can configure backup for your Windows, Linux, and Mac machines. So in case of Windows, we currently have 2 levels of backup. You can take a backup as a complete system image, or it can also be file and folder level backups. And when it comes to Linux and Mac, we currently support file and folder level backups as of now. Say, for example, you're planning to take a backup of your Windows as a complete system image. Here you can give a backup job name, Windows backup. And here we have multiple storage options, as I was mentioning to you. If you're going with your own local storage or maybe any object storage of your choice, you can select this option. Or if you want to go with BDRShield cloud storage, you can choose this option and set the immutability here. So if you're going with, for example, your own storage, you can select that particular storage and then go to next. And here you can find the list of machines. You'll be able to expand it and select all the drives if you want. Otherwise, you can also go with specific drives. So if you have multiple drives, you can even select specific drives of your choice for a backup. And guest processing settings, this was the one which I was mentioning earlier. This will give you application aware backup capability. If you simply enable this, you can take an application consistent backup for multiple Microsoft applications, including Exchange Server, SQL Server, SharePoint, Active Directory, and all that. So you can enable this guest processing settings, and it will also give you an application recovery at a granular level for these 4 applications. And when it comes to scheduling your backups, you can schedule your backups daily, weekly, monthly, or after a particular job, or after every few hours or minutes. We provide an RPO of 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes, you'll be able to run your backups. And that is going to be a full backup the first time. And from the next one onwards, it will be for our incremental backups. Only the block level changes will be tracked using CBT or RCT, and that will be taken as incrementals. And we also have an additional full backup option. Okay, so if you want additional full backup copies, you can enable this, and you can go with daily, weekly, or monthly additional full backups. And these are some advanced schedule settings, which includes backup window. You can customize the backup window where you can define a time period, say for example 8 AM to 6 PM, during which you wouldn't want to run your backups. And backup validity, you can set a validity for your backups as well. And this is the retention. If you don't enable this, all the backups, whatever we are taking, that will be retained in the storage target. And if you want to set a retention policy for your organization, you can enable this, and you can go with a version-based or days-based retention. So in case of version-based, we support up to 999 versions. And in case of days-based also, you can go up to 999 days. And GFS is grandfathered for this retention, kind of an advanced retention type where you can maintain weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly copies of your backups. And encryption, as I was mentioning to you, encryption will be automatically happening both during transit as well as at rest using AES 256-bit encryption. And that is the highest standard of military grade encryption used in the industry. If you want to add a custom password, you can also use a custom password. And here you can review the backup configuration. You can go and click on this. You can check whether all the drives are selected fine here. And you can run this backup job immediately if you want to. And you can save this configuration of the backups. And after saving this configuration, you can go to backup, list backup jobs, and you can find this backup job configuration under this servers and endpoints, NAS, and file share. It will list all the backups that are configured under this category, the servers and endpoints. Here you can perform multiple actions. You can suspend or resume a backup. You can manually run it immediately. If you want to run your backups, you can do that from here. And you can always go back and edit your configuration. You can view this current configuration, and you can also view the reports. So if you click on this, it will show the backup status along with the remarks. Even if there is a failure, it will give you the error code and the related KB. So in case you're clicking on this, you can find the historical runs. Okay. So here you can see the schedule type, the original size and everything. And you can also download all the reports in one go. Okay. And for deletion, you can go here and you can delete the backups. We have multiple deletion options also available. You can delete just the full backup data, or you can retain the backup job and delete only the backup data, or you can delete both the backup as well as the data. So you have these options. And this is about the configuration. And when it comes to recovery, you can go to recovery and restore backup data. Here you have the servers and endpoints option. You can recover it. Okay, so you can go to restore, and we have these three recovery options. When it comes to the cloud version, you can download the disk. Okay, so you can download the backup data as image file formats, which includes VHD, VHDX, VMDK, flat VMDK, and 5 different file formats so possible. You can use these image files to then spin up a VM on any hypervisor of your choice, like it can be Hyper-V or VMware or KVM. And a file level recovery, this is a granular recovery which can be used at times if you need a very quick recovery for specific files and folders. You can go to the restore point. You can select a specific restore point of your choice. And then we have all these different options. You can recover specific files and folders to the same machine, or maybe an alternate machine, or you can also recover it to the BDRShield server itself. And the bare metal recovery option is also there for image backups. So if you're taking a backup and you just want to restore it to some other bare metal, we have simplified the process. We have brought in the direct streaming method. All we need is just stream the backup data from the BDRShield server to the target bare metal host, and it will do a complete bare metal restore on the target host. Okay. So this is pretty much about the recovery options which we have for the cloud version. And when it comes to the on-prem version, so if you're using the on-prem deployment, I will also tell you about these options. You can instantly boot it up as a virtual machine. In case of on-prem version, if you're storing it on your own local storage, maybe a NAS or directly attached drive. So in that case, you can instantly put it up as a virtual machine on any hypervisor of your choice, like ESXi or Hyper-V, if that is enabled on the backup server. That will come up in a span of like 5 to 10 minutes. You can immediately start working on the new virtual machine of your choice, and even you can make any changes. Okay, so that will be captured as a persistent recovery timestamp. And we also have a disk or partition level recovery. So if you want only specific disks or partitions to be recovered, you can very well do that with the on-prem version. And we also have a disk mount recovery capability, where you can mount it as a Vembu virtual drive on the backup server, and you can navigate inside that virtual drive, and you'll be able to directly perform file and folder level operations. And these are some application level granular recoveries, as we were discussing on the backup configuration settings. If we enable the guest processing settings during the backup configurations, you can granularly recover these 4 applications, which includes Exchange Server, SQL Server, Active Directory, and SharePoint. And apart from that, you can also recover it directly as a virtual machine on Microsoft Azure platform, if that is an on-prem deployment. Okay, so if you're using the on-prem version of it, you can get all these recovery options. But in case of the cloud version, we are limiting to these 3 recovery options for now. Okay. And when it comes to reporting, we can also find all the reports under reports, backup reports, and servers and endpoints. Here you can find the status, the complete status of your endpoints. And this is a calendar view. Okay, so this will give you the time taken, the original data size, any remarks on the status. And you can filter it out, whether it is a success or whether it is a failure, or if there were any warnings for your endpoint backups. And this is a calendar view. So here you can find a date-wise run of your backups. You can click on this further. So if it is a green, it's complete success. You can click on this further and you can download all the reports in one go. The start time, end time, the time taken, everything will be shown in this report. And any missed backup schedule will also be shown here. If there are any misses, you can easily find it out from this centralized reporting capability. So this is all about the reporting and about the email alerts. You can also get it as an alert whenever something happens, maybe a success or failure event happens with the backup jobs. You can configure the SMTP settings and get notifications for both success as well as failure scenarios, multiple recipients. And from a management standpoint, you can also go with a co-branding option. Here we have option to upload your company logo. You can update the company name, the support and documentation for this. And you can co-brand very well as an MSP. And here we have a quick dashboard where you can monitor the backup status. Here it will show you the complete infrastructure, whatever we have added. For example, we have added 86 servers and endpoints here. That will show up here. And it will give you the protection overview, how many endpoints are currently protected and how many backups have succeeded, and what is the failure and what are the warnings. Okay, it will give you the complete protection overview. And if there are any backup gaps, you can find it from here. Okay, so for servers and endpoints, there are around 37 servers and endpoints that need to be taken care. No backup attempts were made for 33. That means even if you have configured a backup, still a backup hasn't run. And here no successful backups. That means the backup has run, but it has failed for some reason. So we need to take an action based on this dashboard. And we also have a current activity tab where you can find the currently running backup jobs. And this is all about it from a dashboard perspective. And we also have multi-tenants where you can create tenants for your end users. Here you can give the tenant name, the customer name, the customer email ID, and you can enable the web access for your customers. Currently, we are giving you a read-only and recovery privilege, using which you can give access to your end users. They can monitor the backups with read-only privilege, or in case you are giving them complete recovery access, they can also recover it themselves without your intervention as an MSP. Okay, so this is pretty much at a very high level, and this is our website, BDRShield.com. And if you give a visit, there is a 30 days full feature trial of the product. And this is the on-prem version of it. You can download this on-prem version for Windows, Linux, Ubuntu, as well as Docker. And the minimum system requirements would be an octa-core processor and a 16 GB of RAM, and a minimum operating system version starting from 2012 or to and above in case of Windows. And for Linux, Ubuntu, these are the supported versions, 18.04 LTS to 24.04 LTS. So this is on-prem deployment. And for cloud-based console, you can simply sign up and take complete control with this console.bdrshield.com. Okay. So this is pretty much at a very high level. And when it comes to some customer testimonials, so these are some interesting customer testimonials from our valuable customers. And our team is answering any queries, so please feel free to share your queries as well as feedback. So we are here to answer your queries in the remaining time. And for more queries, we can also answer you through email. Our team is already answering some of the queries. Yeah, so one interesting query we can say is, can you share this presentation? Yes, obviously. This webinar is being recorded and it will be shared on our website within the next 48 hours. Both the presentation slides as well as the recording will be available on our website within the next 48 hours. And price for this backup, we have a channel team who can get back on this. Based on your requirements, the specific workloads you are planning to take a backup, we can help you with the best pricing that is possible from our side. We can note this down, and our customer representative will be getting in touch with you regarding this pricing query. We still have some other queries that are coming in, and our co-organizers are taking care of those queries as well to the best extent possible. We are doing it on live. So we will wait for 5 more minutes for addressing more queries that are coming in. And just a quick note before we wind up the session, we have our 24/7 support that is available for answering any queries related to the technical side. You can write to bdr-support@vembu.com. At any point during the evaluation itself, you can simply try out the 30 days trial and come back to our support in case of any hiccups, and we are here to assist you round the clock. So we could see most of the queries are answered in the session, and we have also taken down some of the queries from the attendees for a later follow-up. And that is all we wanted to share in this webinar, protecting your remote endpoints, backup best practices for a distributed workforce. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's webinar, and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much.